Welcome to All About Sport on CavanTV.com, coming to you live from our new studio at the Cavan Crystal Hotel, Dublin Road, Cavan Town, sponsored by DrumlaMedia.com. All About Sport is Ireland's first live web TV sports programme with nearly 2 million views in 212 countries worldwide. Coming up on tonight's show, John McMahon, our roving reporter, made his way to O'Moore Park, Portlaoise on Saturday for the Cavan-Laois Alliance Football League Division 2 clash. And we will be having an update from that game later on in the show. And John will also be giving us a roundup of the Cavan ladies game that took place at the weekend also. But first up here on All About Sport, we love to feature new initiatives, and one that is making a name for itself is the Health and Wellbeing programme that has been launched by Lacken Celtic this Friday the 13th of February. And I would like to welcome my guests to the show. So James, Moynagh and Christine Wrynn, thank you very much for joining us on All About Sport. Health and Wellbeing Officer James for Crow Park, I believe, for Lacken.
And as part of the committee at Cavan as well.
So just kind of give us a little bit of an insight into why are you running this Health and Wellbeing launch on Friday?
I suppose we're running for a number of reasons. Like Health and Wellbeing Officer there is one in every club in the country now. There's one at county level and it's one at Crow Park's level as well. I suppose the first thing is we want to make people in our club and our community aware that one, there is an officer, there is a committee within place in the club. I suppose we have a lot of information as regards health and wellbeing put up around the club rooms and stuff, so we want to make people aware that we have this information there, that it is available for them if they need.
So it's not just, as you just said before the show started, it's not just a Lacken kind of initiative, but it's like a whole community, the GA, I suppose, community is getting involved. This is coming
down from Crow Park. I suppose where it started was a couple of years back. We had the ASAP programme which dealt regards alcohol and drug, setting in policies for that, but the Crow Park felt they needed to expand it a lot more. They were having a lot of clubs coming from where there was issues around maybe suicide, gambling, different sort of addiction, bullying and that. So they felt that they needed to expand it more into overall area of health and wellbeing. So that programme got launched last year. So my role moved from ASAP officer into Health and Wellbeing Officer in 2014. So I'm continuing into 2015.
Excellent, and you're doing great work so far. Christine, will bring you in on it. Christine Wrynn, you are the coordinator for SOSAD in Cavan. Tell us a little bit about, I suppose, your role and your kind of link with Lacken Celtic GA.
Yeah, well, my role is coordinator, and what I do is I will assign new clients to their counsellor, an appropriate counsellor for whichever presenting issue they present with. But it's great to be involved with Lacken because the history and research has shown that instead of going down the medicine route and all that, the biggest thing for depression is physical activity. So not only is it great from the physical activity point of view, but we find we're trying to raise awareness through suicide, and people are inclined to think that we all have family to talk to. That's not always the case. So it's fantastic that children and adults alike know that there is a sports person or there is a committee like that there that they can turn to and speak to in confidence, and that's all part of moving on from stuff. Yeah,
and I suppose opening up about people's problems. James, what do you hope to achieve, from this initiative?
There's lots we hope to achieve. Like as I said, make the information aware to our members. I suppose the next thing is if we do have anyone that is within the community that does feel that maybe they are suffering depression or maybe they have an addiction or anything like that maybe they can approach us and that we can help them out, point them towards the correct services. Like, I'm not an expert in any of these fields. Like, I'm here as a link. The club is here as a link, and that hopefully, we can make a difference in someone's life. Yeah. And can change that.
One of your logos is here to listen and here to care, and as you mentioned yourself that you're not an expert and you can't, I suppose, you can there to encourage people to get involved, but I suppose that's where you come in, Christine, where you have the, I suppose, people who can really deal with people who have these issues. Yeah,
well, we would have 18 fully trained counsellors now with us and 3 trainees at the moment, and a bit like, we would be experts in the suicide field and the depression field, but again, if somebody comes to us with, alcohol problems or abuse or anything like that, we would also direct them into the right avenue. Someone who is an expert in that field can look after them. Yeah. But it's great. Sometimes people just need an ear, to bend somebody's ear, somebody to listen to them, to know someone's there. And that's where, just talking to anybody is great help. And
obviously, I suppose the biggest challenge is getting people to break down that barrier and to open up and, I suppose, be able to go to somebody in the club. So how do you hope to overcome that, to make, if people want to contact yourself, is it yourself directly, James, they would contact, or how would you hope that people would come to you and maybe say, look, I would like to kind of avail of this service and this help?
Yeah, well, if they feel comfortable approaching me, fair enough. We will be setting up a committee within the club, so we'll be making people aware who's on the committee. Our club is not just a football club, it's our camogie club, it's our ladies football club. Everything is coming in under the one umbrella. Yeah. So we aim to have a health and wellbeing officer for both football, ladies and camogie club. So maybe that's one of the other officers that they feel that they can approach. We're more comfortable approaching them, and then, as I say, we can direct it on to whatever service we need to pass it on to. The other thing is, currently we have lots of information, contact numbers put up around the club rooms, on these different areas, and it's free for anyone in the area to come in. Numbers, email addresses, everything is there for them.
Yeah, brilliant.
So maybe if they don't feel like coming to us direct, that they can go into the club rooms and get the numbers
and avail of it, and that it's kind of a local service as opposed to a national service. Christine, you said there's been an increase in people using your services, in recent years, which is, I mean, obviously, the numbers are rising, but at least people are coming out and, basically, asking for help, which is fantastic.
Yeah, you see, that's all to do with, awareness and trying to push and letting people know it is good to talk, because especially like in the GAA field, in a heartbeat, if they pull a muscle, there's a physio in there in a heartbeat. If they broke a leg, there's an ambulance to bring them to hospital, and they wouldn't even think twice about that. So why would you think twice about your own mental health? Exactly. So if we all looked at our own mental health the same way we do our physical health, and that's the thing, it's talking. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. And that's, you just said it all there, and it's amazing the lengths that we go to, like, in the sporting field, to have your saying physiotherapists and the top trainers and top everything, but when it comes to your mental health, I suppose it's something that we're only now starting to, I suppose, the amount of awareness that's there for us now. This is kind of obviously at all age groups, directed at all age groups, because it's people who maybe have alcohol issues or drug issues, or obviously people who are being bullied or suffering from depression, but it runs from any age group, and it's good, I suppose, at a young age to be educating the children and stuff, so they're aware of this.
Exactly, yeah, like as I was saying earlier, like kids today have a lot more pressure than, say, when we were in school. Like, you have mobile phones, you have, the bullying can be online through social media. You have your apps now where you can do your gambling online, and nobody is aware that you could have these problems, So like, it's going to cover every area. Like, there is so many topics, not just, there's other areas like even nutrition as well. Like, there's, I suppose, more positive topics there. Like,
I suppose, and I suppose we can move on to what we've spoken about, I suppose, your mental health, but then the well-being and all the other, so you've other services that can help promote all the, I suppose, your well-being also.
Yeah, so the hope is that, we have our launch night here, we make everyone aware that this is what is happening, and we're going to have a suggestion box set up on the night, and then within the parish for the following week, where we get feedback from people, see what they want, what areas they'd like to see covered as well, I suppose. And then we aim to have follow-up nights where we get different speakers in, maybe like SOSAD, or if we can, around nutrition and stuff like that. Different Saturdays, maybe midweek, and that's make that information available for people. It's all about educating the people.
That's it. I suppose we spoke as well that you know, in rural communities as well, like it's harder for people to avail of services, but the GAA is that, well, you know, it's like it is the core of the community, and it is like one big family, so it's great when people can get involved. You know, could other clubs get involved and follow Lacken's lead and Lacken's direction and all of this?
Definitely. Like, we're not the only club within the county at the minute doing this. I know there's actually 2 or 3 clubs up in West Cavan are working on something similar. I think Cavan could be working on something similar. Like, so, look, I'm part of the committee at county level, and I'd like to see that every club in the county would make a push at this. And there's no reason why any club can't do this. If any of the other clubs actually around us would like to get involved, feel free to contact us. I know
they'll contact you, James, because you're working with Croke Park as well. So.
Or with Cavan,
and with the Cavan County Board as well.
In fact, about 3 or 4 years ago, ourselves and Christine did do a wee pilot programme with some of the young kids, say around minor level, you know, and you know, it didn't go too far, but you know, we did work in conjunction on this, and you know, but in the future there is scope there to work as well. And
more, I suppose, people in the public eye are coming out and saying, I have, you know, issues with my mental health, and they're role models. So in a sense, it's a very brave thing to do, but it also does kind of maybe spur these people on to say, well, look, if they can do it, come out publicly, I can do it. Yeah,
definitely, and I suppose one of our speakers we had been hoping to have, he's had to pull out at the last minute, was Alan O'Mara. It's anyone who knows Alan knows he'd suffered from depression. He was a key member of the Cavan under-21 team that reached All-Ireland final in 2011, and he took a very brave step where he actually wrote an article about Independent, or Sunday Independent. So, and he's been inspiration for a lot of people, you know, and it shows, like, you know, look, if you are suffering, do not be afraid to come and talk to anyone. Like, as a GAA club, you know, a lot of people think, right, it's important about winning is everything, but at the end of the day, look, at the winning is just cherry on the top. It's nice to do, everyone likes to win championship, but at the end of the day, your health and well-being is most important. It's key. No family wants to lose a family member, whether it's depression, alcohol, or maybe car crash, you know, you name it. So at the end of the day, we're here to care. That's the most important thing.
That's a fantastic initiative, it really is. We're just going to put up the poster on screen here, and we'll give you some more details about the launch this coming Friday. So GAA, we are community. And unfortunately, you said Alan O'Mara won't be attending on Friday night, but you'll be working alongside him in the future.
Yeah.
And as well, King's Court.
King's Court, I'd hope to be able to attend. Joe Farley, who will be the equivalent of my role within King's Court. Unfortunately, he's not available to attend, but he actually was in Croke Park at the weekend. He was getting the President's Award. Because last year they became the first club to set up a mental health policy. So this is something we'll be following up, something to do what they've done is get a mental health policy set up in place, something that we will be working on with the committee.
And they found it successful and it's worked for them?
Yeah, they had a few tragedies within the club, unfortunately, and they felt this is something they had to do, and hopefully we can, you know, by getting ahead of the game, that we do not have something similar before in the club. So. Yeah,
brilliant. Just, I suppose, what can people expect then from Friday night, just to kind of wrap things up, James and Christine?
I suppose Friday night I'm going to give a wee talk at the start just on what the aim of the club is, why we're doing this. So Sad's going to give us a wee talk as well, and then we have Colin Regan coming down from Croke Park. He's the GA Community and Health Manager, so he's going to be talking about why this is important to be setting up within the club.
Excellent. Well, look at and it sounds like it'll be a great night and lots of information. So you're, I suppose, hoping that lots of people and from Lacken and Celtic GA will attend on the night.
Yeah, and this is open to all, like whether you're a GA person or not, whoever you are, if you want to attend, you're welcome to attend. There's going to be tea and sandwiches and everything afterwards.
Lovely, brilliant. Well, James and Christine, thank you so much for taking the time to come into the studio and speak to us on All About Sport, and we wish you the best of luck with your new initiative, Health and Wellbeing, with Lacken Celtic GAA. So we're going to go to a quick ad break, but when I come back I'll be speaking to John McMahon, so don't go away.
Cavan Crystal Hotel provides 4-star accommodation on the edge of Cavan town. located conveniently on the Dublin Road, just 60 minutes away from Dublin. With 85 beautifully appointed bedrooms and a number of luxurious suites. We offer wedding packages. With our one wedding a day policy, we guarantee to make yours a special day. Enjoy a meal at our award-winning Opus One restaurant, or have a drink in the atrium or residence bars. Feeling energetic, you can work out in Zest Health and Fitness Club, or maybe pamper yourself and visit Utopia Health and Beauty Clinic, or Avita's Hair Salon, both located on site. Situated only 5 minutes from Cavan Town Centre and local amenities. Cavan Crystal Hotel, gateway to Ireland's Lakelands.
And you're very welcome back to the show. Well, I'm joined by John McMahon, and he's here to give us a roundup of the Cavan Laois game that took place last Saturday in O'Moore Park, and also he will be talking to us about the Cavan ladies' successful win. So, John, you're very welcome back to the show. How are you? So you made it to Portlaoise last weekend. Good support and good turnout. Long journey to travel for all the supporters.
Very long journey, yeah, 2.5 hours at least. You'd want to be leaving at about 4 or 5 o'clock, I suppose. It was a good start to the day. The Irish lads getting the win and the rugby as well. So fantastic start. It's good to have started in Six Nations as well. So yeah, it's a fantastic win for them. So it was a good start. So
give us, I suppose, just a summary, really, how the game went. I suppose we'll start with the first half. I suppose Laois put the Cavan team under some pressure straight away.
Yeah, from the start, Donny Kingston got an early goal and he punched it in the back of the net. There was a bit of a lack of communication with the Cavan full back line. I think the keeper just came out and the full back line was dismayed as well. I think Rory Dunn, very uncharacteristically, just kind of came out to nearly the halfway line just to go out for the ball, and then the ball came in and Donny punched it into the back of the net. And it was obviously a basic lack of communication, but the P had to go in. But other from that, now we kind of got going after that, and it was a bit of a wake up call as well, Louise. So it was after that, now went well, and I suppose Paul Smith got things going after the 9 minutes. He got the first point of the game, so he got things going. It was a good point now too, so he got it going. So
overall, they had first half. They had. It was even score going in at half time, but it was, I suppose, then you said a poor second half for Laois. But tell us a bit about, we had Ronan Flanagan, this whole system of he was the sweeper, and things started to improve, I suppose, after that added pressure was put on from Laois in the first half.
Yeah, we've a bit of a system there. We left Martin Dunn and Niall McDermott in the full forward line, and then Niall and Martin moved out and they started working hard to get the ball in. And yeah, Martin Dunn, he worked very hard. It's uncharacteristic of him to move out of forward and kind of move about the pitch. But yeah, the ball was let into him, and he did very well when he got it, and he moved the ball well, and he went for a lot of strikes when he could go for it. And yeah, he got one free from play, but sure, he did put in a good shift when he was on the field playing.
Yeah, so. Perfect. And then, so you were saying Niall McDermott, he had a good game. He scored 5 points, but all of them from frees, or?
Three of them from frees and 2 points from plays. So yeah, Niall McDermott was very impressive. Phil Tinnelly came on for him for the last with 5 minutes, and Phil didn't get in the score sheet, but he defended well. So.
Yeah, great. Yeah. And then, so this whole system of Ronan Flanagan on the day was the sweeper. This technique, is this something that Cavan are kind of looking towards using this, in all their other games, or is this something you've seen happening a lot?
Well, after I suppose Peter Donnelly leaving, I thought we would have got rid of it. Judged from Saturday, we looked very good going up forward, and we kind of got it out of our system in a way. We played very well. We attacked the Laois backline very well. I suppose just maybe. As I kept kind of saying last week, I would really like to see more, maybe Eugene Caton, a nice target man to have in there. But Niall McDermott, in fairness to him, he played very well and kicked some nice scores. And in fairness to him, he did very well. And suppose Martin Dunn will get 1 point, and our two main full forwards suppose could be doing a bit better than that. But yeah, sure, it was a very impressive win now.
So as a forward, Martin Dunn, you said he worked really hard, but on paper and on the scoreboard, not very many scores. But that didn't really. So for you, kind of being there on pitch side, what was the atmosphere like? How? I mean, listening to on the radio and reading the reviews, I mean, it kind of tells a different story. But kind of being there on pitch side, how do you think the team kind of fared out?
The team fared out very well, and I think the fans were very happy with the performance. It was a long journey for the fans, and they're very relieved in the second half because it was a fantastic performance. And I suppose the subs we brought on, James McEnroe, and who was the sequence, James McEnroe, he kicked some fantastic scores as well. So yeah, we kicked some brilliant scores. We should have been very happy with it. Now the fans are thrilled with it really in the second half. Just the first half was a bit shaky, I suppose. Going into half time with a drawn game, you don't know what to expect. But second half we pulled it through and did very well. So.
And then I suppose Laois, I suppose, wouldn't be maybe a team that we would have been overly maybe worried about. Do you think maybe the Cavan side went a little bit too confidently and this might have kind of resulted in the...
I wouldn't say confidently, nearly quietly confident. It was going to be a 50-50 game, I suppose similar enough form, similar enough way of going forward and similar enough team as well. It's similar to the Roscommon game. We didn't know what to expect, but especially in that game we didn't know what to expect because Laois do have a very good team. There's some very strong forwards. Tony Kingston was their main man in the first half. He played very well throughout the game and got a fantastic second goal as well. So yeah, we didn't know what to expect against them, but yeah, they were fantastic. Now it was good.
And then going in, I suppose at half time, what was the score going in at half time there again?
The score was Cavan 9 points, Laois 2-3.
Okay, so it was anyone's game going into half time. Yeah. So I'm sure Terry Hyland gave them a good talking to at half time. And then moving into the second half, how did things improve in that half? Was there any changes in the second half at all? Or
James McEnroe came on and Barry Riley came on for Mark McKeever. Barry Riley played. He got one free. He kicked a nice free off his hands, and it was a very good free. And so James McEnroe was he was more pivotal sub because he played very well when he came on, and he kicked some outrageous scores from out the field, and he was fantastic when he came on. So them were the two lads came on. I suppose James McEnroe from Rammer, so hopefully he'll have good year for Rammer as well, because it'll be good to see Rammer getting back up the ladder as well, because they're doing very well. So with this year, so I'll be interested in it.
Yeah, and there is obviously there's been concern saying we just don't have that forward line isn't what we would hope it to be. We don't have that attacking forward, but in Niall McDermott there and I suppose who else was in, and Martin Dunn, and then who's this here in
Jack Brady came on
Jack
for
Brady,
Martin Dunn,
So overall they worked well together, and scores were put on the board, and that's all we can ask for.
Yeah, the scores were put on the board.
A lot of points, though. It was for Cavan, no goals were scored. It was
no, it was all points, and it was very impressive to see that, because Cavan normally do obviously struggle with putting the ball over the bar sometimes. But yeah, I think at first Niall McDermott had a cracking game. He had 5 points from play, and he kicked some very nice points when the ball was put against him. The ball was moved in the second half. The ball was moved very well into Niall McDermott, and Damien Riley gave some great passes into him, and I suppose Killian Brady had a very good game as well. So yeah, the ball was moved in very quickly and fastly, so Niall profited from it, and he kicked some lovely points. So
for you, man of the match?
Man of the match, man of the match would probably be Killian Brady, just for his work rate and work ethic.
He's a wing back.
Yeah, he's a wing back, and he turned over a lot of possession, and he dug out a lot of ball, and he fed a lot of ball into the forward line. So yeah, he was fantastic. Or Darren McVitie as well. There were so many players that played well. Darren McVitie was very good, and he had a very good game against Roscommon as well. So
great.
Yeah, it's just very happy.
So they have 2 weeks now rest.
2 weeks again, and then down. I think it's next Saturday night. The following it's this Saturday week. So
right. So and where that game be?
That's in Kingston, Breffni Park.
Okay, great. So you expect a great turnout for that game.
Yeah,
and will it be just that game only? Any other games on in the night, or just?
I think that's the game only. That's one game only.
So that night, what can we expect from the down team?
From the down team, they seem to be going all right at the minute. They've obviously Louise Belly Coulter there last. I think it was December. He called it a day with them. He retired, and he was obviously the main man for down for so many years, so he's going to be the lead, someone very good to replace him. They've a lot of players coming up, and they are a young team. Mark Poland and different guys like that, and they've all the potential to turn in, even to win Ulster, but it'll be a very interesting game against Down, and they'll obviously be going hell for leather, and same as us trying to get up from Division to go up to Division 1, but yeah, it'll be a very good game, and hopefully a good Cavan crowd will turn out, because it's all the potential to be a fantastic game of football.
Really. Great, definitely a game not to be missed. So that brings us to the, I suppose, final score before we move on from that.
Cavan 17 points, Laois 2-6.
All right, okay, so and that was the
convincing in the
score.
end, yeah.
So they went home happy. So that brings us to the ladies Cavan versus Kildare Division 1, and that was on the 3G pitch, and that was on Saturday. Was that Sunday?
That was Sunday 2 o'clock.
Yeah, and great support for that game.
Great support.
So obviously we're missing one or two key players, but overall a good display of football from.
Very good display from football. Cavan seem to be doing very well in the ladies this year, 4-13 to 1-8. It's a very, very impressive scoreline, and the goals seem to be no bother to the Cavan ladies at the minute at all. Roisin O'Keefe 1-5. That's very, very impressive now for some of the
more goals away than the senior
so
team.
yeah, they are, right. And it's fantastic scoreline and fairs, and I suppose the midfield partnership of Moynagh Sheridan and who's it? I think Moynagh Sheridan and with the one others is fantastic. I think so it seems to be very impressive and linking very well. And Roisin, once you get any day you got 1-5, it's very impressive now. So I'd be very happy with that. And sure, I think they're out again this week. They're away from home this weekend. So sure, we might see a tester if maybe Breffni Park's lucky for them, or maybe the away ground might be a different change.
Exactly, definitely. And then you still have some of the old players there: Grania Smith, Aisling Doonan, Moynagh Sheridan, and Donna English.
Midfield as well. Donna English was the partnership with in midfield. So yeah.
Yeah. So and as we're missing Brona Sheridan, obviously she's away in the Middle East, so we're missing her. But and then they've their new management in place.
Mr. Aidan McCabe and Declan Baird from Ballyas. So yeah, it seems to be going well there on Gaelic Football Views with Mickey and Damon there. Yeah, it seems to be a good partnership, and sure, hopefully they have a successful season, because they've looked like they've a very good group of players there, and there's something they can work from, and they seem to be knocking the goals away. So Declan must be giving them a few tips in the full forward line. He's played there before, so yeah, it seems to be doing very well for them now. Yeah, so
brilliant. So final score
is Cavan 4-13 and Kildare 1-8. So very convincing win.
And player of the match.
Player of the match, Roisin O'Keefe again, 1-5, very, very impressive. And if she can do that this weekend again, we'll be all good. We'll be fine again.
Great. And you just want to give a mention to Joe Farrell, just there before we wrap things up, John.
Yeah, Joseph Farley from Kingscourt, he won the Youngest Presidents Award. James mentioned in the last piece, fair play to him. He got it there the week in Croke Park, and fair play to him. It's a very prestigious award to win. So yeah, just from Kingscourt. So it's a very worthy topic to talk about, mental health and all that. So yeah, very impressed by Joe. So fair play to him.
That's brilliant. Well, John, thank you so much. You had a busy weekend.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for coming in to us, and we'll have you back on the show again very soon. So that is it from All About Sport for this week, live from the Cavan Crystal Hotel, Dublin Road, Cavan Town. And coming up on next week's show is a GAA special. And recently I caught up with incoming president of the GAA, Egon O'Farrell, Cumann Lucas Squale at Dernakesh National School. And you can catch that interview and highlights from the past year recorded by All About Sport. And that will be on next week's show. But if you'd like your sport featured on the show, contact at Cavan TV Sport on my Twitter page, or Facebook me at Louise O'Reilly. So thank you to all my guests on the show. So it's goodbye from me and from John McMahon. Goodbye.